Gentlemen, let me start with a truth that may surprise you. Some of the fruits you've trusted for years, yes, the ones you believe are healthy, may actually be making your prostate larger, your bladder weaker, and your nights more restless. It sounds hard to believe, doesn't it? We've all been told that fruit is nature's medicine, that the more we eat, the better. But after 50, your body doesn't respond to food the same way it did when you were 25. What once helped you stay fit and energized can now quietly fuel inflammation, irritate your bladder, and keep you awake long after midnight. But here's the twist, the answer isn't found in another bottle, another pill, or another late-night supplement ad. It's right there in your kitchen, in the fruits you choose, and the ones you should avoid. I'm Dr. Olivia Hayes, a board-certified urologist with over 10 years of experience helping men over 50 restore their confidence, circulation, and quality of life, naturally. Through my years in practice, I've seen how small, consistent choices can make the biggest difference. And today, I want to show you something simple, yet powerful, that most men overlook, how the fruits you eat every day can either help your prostate heal, or quietly make things worse. Now, let's start with the 4 fruits that quietly worsen your prostate. These are foods most men believe are harmless, even healthy, but for your prostate, they can act like hidden triggers. Canned peaches and syrupy fruits, they look wholesome, soft, sweet, easy to eat. But behind that golden shine is a heavy syrup that turns something natural into something harmful. When fruit sits in syrup for months, it absorbs added sugars that your body doesn't need. That sugar floods your system, spikes your blood glucose, and triggers inflammation throughout the body, including the prostate. For men living with BPH, or an enlarged prostate, inflammation is like gasoline on a slow-burning fire. The more it builds, the more pressure you feel, in your bladder, your lower abdomen, and even your sleep. 1 cup of canned peaches and syrup can contain more than 25 grams of sugar. That's like stirring 5 spoonfuls straight into your morning coffee. And when you eat that night after night, it's no wonder your bladder keeps waking you up. So if you love peaches, don't give them up, just change how you eat them. Go for fresh or frozen peaches packed in their own juice. You still get the flavor, the fiber, and the nutrients, without the sugar overload that keeps your prostate irritated. It's not about giving things up. It's about learning what truly supports you now, at this stage of life. Grapes and raisins now, grapes, they seem perfectly healthy, don't they? They're natural, full of antioxidants, and easy to snack on. But here's the catch, they're also packed with fructose, fruit sugar, and your body doesn't process it as easily as it once did. A small handful is fine. But a big bowl, especially in the evening, can raise your blood sugar fast. And when blood sugar spikes, inflammation follows. That inflammation doesn't just sit in your joints or your belly, it travels through your bloodstream, reaching the prostate and the bladder wall. Raisins are even trickier. When grapes are dried, all the water is removed, leaving behind concentrated sugar. A small box of raisins can have as much sugar as a can of soda. That's a shock to most men, but once you see it that way, it makes sense why symptoms often flare up after healthy snacks. So moderation is key. A few grapes after lunch, fine. A box of raisins before bed, not fine. If you need something sweet, swap raisins for berries. They'll satisfy your cravings, support your prostate, and keep inflammation under control. Watermelon, especially at night, this one surprises almost everyone. Watermelon feels refreshing, light, hydrating, and harmless. And yes, it does contain lycopene, a compound that's actually good for the prostate. But too much, especially at the wrong time, can undo all those benefits. Here's why, watermelon is nearly 90% water and naturally high in sugar. Eat half a plate after dinner, and within an hour, your bladder is full again. What follows? Restless sleep, 2 or 3 trips to the bathroom, and frustration that the healthier choice made things worse. Think of watermelon as a midday friend, not a bedtime snack. Enjoy it in small amounts, about 1 cup, earlier in the day. Pair it with a handful of nuts or yogurt to balance the sugar and slow the absorption. That small change can turn a restless night into a peaceful one. You see, after 50, timing matters just as much as nutrition. When you eat is almost as important as what you eat. Fruit juices, if there's one thing I wish more men understood, it's this: fruit juice is not the same as fruit. When you juice a fruit, you take away its fiber, the very thing that helps slow down sugar absorption. What's left is liquid sugar, hitting your system fast, spiking insulin, and irritating your bladder. A single glass of orange juice can hold the sugar of 2 or 3 whole oranges. Apple juice? Even higher. It's the perfect recipe for inflammation, blood sugar swings, and sleepless nights. Your body doesn't need that kind of rush anymore. What it needs is steady energy, the kind you get when you eat the whole fruit, skin and all. Chewing slows digestion, balances blood sugar, and keeps your bladder calm. If you crave something refreshing, try water with lemon or slices of citrus instead. It hydrates you without flooding your system with sugar. That one swap, from juice to fruit, can quietly improve your sleep, your bladder comfort, and your energy levels. You see, these 4 fruits, canned peaches, grapes and raisins, too much watermelon, and fruit juices, aren't villains by themselves. They become harmful only when we forget how our bodies change with time. After 50, the same foods you once enjoyed freely may now speak to your body differently. Your metabolism slows, your hormones shift, your cells become more sensitive to sugar and inflammation. And that's not a sign of weakness, it's just the natural rhythm of aging. The key is learning how to adjust, how to work with your body instead of against it. Because when you do, even small adjustments, like choosing whole fruit over juice, can give you back something priceless, your rest, your energy, and your confidence. Now that you know which fruits can quietly make things worse, let's shift to the good news, the foods that can help your prostate calm down, your bladder relax, and your nights become peaceful again. These aren't expensive superfoods or exotic fruits. They're simple, everyday choices that have quietly supported men's health for generations, fruits that work with your body, not against it. Before we dive in, a small note, this video is for educational purposes only. It's not medical advice. If you ever experience pain, blood in your urine, or fever, please see your doctor right away. Alright, let's begin. Tomatoes, the red shield for your prostate. Tomatoes are one of the most powerful foods for men's health. They might look ordinary, but inside that red skin is a compound called lycopene, one of the strongest natural antioxidants we know of. Lycopene helps protect cells from oxidative damage and lowers inflammation, which is a key factor in prostate enlargement. What's even more interesting is that cooked tomatoes, tomato soup, pasta sauce, stews, are actually more effective than raw ones. When you cook them, lycopene becomes easier for your body to absorb. So, that simple bowl of tomato soup you enjoy in the evening might be doing more for your prostate than you realize. And the beauty is, tomatoes fit effortlessly into daily life, sliced in sandwiches, tossed into salads, or simmered into homemade sauce. If you buy canned tomatoes, look for low-sodium options. Too much salt can make urinary symptoms worse. And whenever you can, replace ketchup or sugary sauces with fresh tomato salsa or pure tomato paste. Sometimes, healing doesn't come from adding something new, but from returning to something simple, and few things are simpler, or more powerful, than the tomato. Citrus fruits, nature's gentle cleanser. Oranges, lemons, limes, and grapefruits, all of them share one thing in common: they're rich in vitamin C and antioxidants that protect your prostate tissue from oxidative stress. Vitamin C isn't just for your immune system. It helps reduce inflammation, supports healthy collagen in your blood vessels, and keeps your urinary tract lining resilient. For men with BPH, this means less irritation and a calmer, more relaxed bladder. Having one serving of citrus each day, whether it's a fresh orange, half a grapefruit, or a glass of water with lemon, can make a real difference. And if you enjoy citrus water, it's a great replacement for sugary juices or sodas. One quick note, grapefruit can interact with certain medications, such as those for heart disease or cholesterol. If you take any of those, check with your doctor or pharmacist first before eating grapefruit regularly. Otherwise, citrus fruits are one of the most refreshing and prostate-friendly ways to support your health. They hydrate, they cleanse, and they quietly protect your cells from the inside out. Sometimes, it's not about complicated diets, it's about small acts of consistency. Like adding a squeeze of lemon to your morning water, or a few orange slices to your lunch. Those simple acts, done daily, become a rhythm of care your body recognizes. Berries, tiny fruits with mighty power. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. Of these tiny, colorful fruits are nutritional gold for men over 50. They're rich in compounds called anthocyanins, natural pigments that give them their deep color and strong antioxidant power. These compounds fight free radicals, reduce inflammation, and protect the delicate cells inside your prostate. For men managing weight, blood sugar, or early diabetes, all common after 50, berries are an ideal choice. They're naturally low in sugar and high in fiber, which helps balance energy and support digestion. You can add them to oatmeal, mix them into yogurt, blend them into smoothies, or simply enjoy them as a snack. And if fresh berries are hard to find, frozen ones are just as good, just make sure they're unsweetened. What I love most about berries is how gentle yet powerful they are. They don't overwhelm your body, they nourish it, quietly, from within. When men make berries a daily habit, they often notice subtle changes, better energy, clearer skin, even deeper sleep. That's not magic, that's what happens when inflammation finally starts to fade. Pomegranate, the ancient fruit of protection. The pomegranate is one of nature's oldest medicines. In ancient cultures, it was a symbol of strength and vitality, and modern science is finally catching up. Pomegranates are loaded with polyphenol, powerful antioxidants that help protect your prostate cells from damage and may even help stabilize PSA levels over time. Studies have shown that men who regularly include pomegranate, either the seeds or pure juice, often have better urinary comfort and slower PSA changes after treatment. You can eat the seeds, sprinkle them on salads or yogurt, or blend them into smoothies. If you prefer juice, make sure it's 100% pure, with no added sugar, and keep portions moderate, about half a cup per day. You can even dilute the juice with water for a lighter, refreshing drink. There's something almost symbolic about the pomegranate, breaking it open, seeing those bright red seeds, each one carrying potential. It reminds me that healing often comes in layers, quietly, over time, much like those tiny seeds adding up to something powerful. You see, these 4 fruits, tomatoes, citrus, berries, and pomegranate, are more than just nutrition. They represent a mindset, a shift from reacting to your symptoms, to supporting your body from within. Because prostate health isn't just about one organ, it's about the balance of your entire system, your hormones, your circulation, your metabolism, and yes, even your mindset. I once had a patient named Mark, 61 years old, who told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Doc, I realized I spent 30 years feeding my work, but not feeding my body." When we changed his habits, added a few servings of these fruits daily, reduced his late-night sugar, and improved his hydration, he came back a month later smiling. He said, "I didn't just sleep through the night, I woke up feeling lighter, not just in my body, but in my mind." That's the beauty of it. When you give your body the right fuel, it remembers how to heal. And no, it's not about perfection. You don't have to give up everything you love. You just need to start making small, smarter choices, the kind that slowly bring your health back into balance. Maybe tomorrow morning, you'll skip the juice and eat a real orange instead. Maybe tonight, you'll add tomato sauce to your meal or sprinkle some pomegranate seeds on your yogurt. And maybe, a few weeks from now, you'll notice something you haven't felt in a while, steady energy, deeper rest, or a quiet confidence that your body is finally working with you again. Because the truth is, your best years aren't behind you. They're right here, waiting for you to claim them, one choice, one meal, one day at a time. Now that we've talked about the fruits that harm and those that heal, let's take it one step further, because what you eat is powerful, but how you live each day can multiply that power even more. There are simple, often overlooked habits that can quietly protect your prostate, balance your hormones, and restore your energy. They don't require expensive supplements, special diets, or complicated routines. They're simple choices, the kind you can make today, and repeat tomorrow, until they become part of who you are. Add fiber-rich fruits, gentle cleansing, deep support. If there's one nutrient most men overlook, it's fiber. Not the rough kind that feels like cardboard cereal, but the natural fiber that comes from fruits like apples with skin, pears, and kiwi. These fruits do something subtle but profound. They help your body regulate blood sugar and support detoxification through the gut. When your digestion runs smoothly, inflammation throughout the body drops, and your liver and prostate no longer have to carry the extra burden. Think of fiber as your body's quiet housekeeper. It sweeps out what doesn't belong, balances what remains, and leaves the system clean and calm. When you eat an apple with its skin on, you're not just getting vitamins, you're giving your gut the raw material it needs to protect your prostate. When you slice a pear into your breakfast, or enjoy a kiwi after dinner, you're signaling to your body, "I'm taking care of you now." It's a small act, but small acts repeated daily lead to deep change. Combine foods for maximum power. The synergy effect. Food doesn't work in isolation. Sometimes, what you combine makes the difference between average nutrition and powerful healing. Take tomatoes and olive oil, for example. Lycopene, the antioxidant that supports your prostate, is fat-soluble. That means your body absorbs it better when you eat it with healthy fats. So, drizzle olive oil over your tomato salad or cook your sauce with a splash of it. That simple pairing transforms a meal into a natural anti-inflammatory tonic. The same is true for berries and Greek yogurt. The healthy fats and proteins in yogurt slow sugar absorption and make the antioxidants in berries more bioavailable. It's a synergy your body understands perfectly, nature's way of saying, we work better together. If you start viewing food as teamwork, not individual pieces, your entire approach to eating changes. Suddenly, every meal becomes an opportunity to restore balance, not just fill hunger. Don't forget the basics, the quiet medicine of everyday life. Sometimes, in the search for solutions, we forget the most obvious medicine: sleep, hydration, and stillness. After 50, your body becomes more sensitive to stress, caffeine, and alcohol, especially at night. Those late-night drinks or that harmless coffee after dinner can keep your bladder active and your mind restless. Water, on the other hand, does the opposite. It helps the kidneys flush toxins gently, supports circulation, and prevents the concentrated urine that irritates your bladder wall. If you could only add one habit this week, let it be this: 2 liters of plain water every day. Not juice, not soda, just clean, still water. It's the simplest and most underrated form of self-care. And sleep, the kind that reaches deep, uninterrupted rest, is when your body repairs inflammation, balances hormones, and resets energy. If you're constantly waking up, your body never gets to complete that cycle. But once you fix the small triggers, the sugar, the caffeine, the dehydration, you'll start to feel that natural rhythm return. You'll wake up not just rested, but restored. It's easy to think that change has to be dramatic, that progress only comes from drastic effort. But the truth is, the body doesn't need punishment to heal. It needs kindness, consistency, and a bit of patience. Your prostate isn't your enemy, it's part of you, asking for balance. And balance is built through gentle choices: fruits with fiber, foods that work together, deep rest, steady hydration. Nothing extreme. Nothing complicated. Just small things done with intention. Over time, those habits create space for your body to breathe, your energy to rise, and your nights to grow peaceful again. Imagine this: it's 2 a.m, but this time, you're not awake. You're still sleeping soundly, breathing evenly, no urge to rush to the bathroom. Just deep, steady rest. Your body feels lighter, calmer. You wake up with a clear mind and quiet confidence, the kind that comes from knowing you're finally working with your body instead of fighting against it. I've seen men over 50 make these small changes, and within weeks, their nights transformed. Not because of a miracle pill, but because they gave their bodies what they had always been asking for: simplicity and care. So I want you to pause and ask yourself, which fruit is the hardest for you to give up: juice, raisins, or watermelon? Comment below and tell me. And if you'd like a little help getting started, type the word checklist in the comments. I'll send you my 7-day printable guide, a simple, practical plan you can put on your fridge and follow right away. Each day has small steps that build into real results. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. Every week, I share science-backed, heart-centered insights to help men over 50 feel stronger, healthier, and more alive. Because your best years aren't behind you. They're still ahead, waiting for you to rediscover them. Healthier, calmer, and filled with the quiet strength that comes from understanding your body and finally learning how to care for it the right way.